Hello, everybody. This is Grace. I'm from the workanywherenow.com blog, and today I am going to teach you how to set up your Instagram on Mass Planner. So I have a full review of Mass Planner in another video. So if you want like an overview of that, you should check out that video. I will link it in the video description below of this one, and I also link it. Like a card in this video so you can see my actual just the overview. So this video is going to be the beginner settings for follow, unfollow, and like for Instagram. Before I start, if you're looking at my screen right now, this is like the highest settings, so don't use these settings, okay? So don't go so quickly follow what I have here on the screen at this point in time. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through every section here. Just some things I want to talk about before I start talking about the settings. Your account needs to be at least a month old. Okay, it needs to be the older it is, the better. So if you have a 3-month-old account, even better. But I would not. If you use a brand new account, I guess I would just do it super slow. But if you are a month or 3 months into your age, then you could use these beginner settings that I'm going to tell you about, okay? So your goal is to, in the very beginning, is to follow about 50 accounts per hour and only do it for 6 hours a day, because you want to hit about 300 limit for the day, okay? So if that is your goal, I'm going to show you how to set it here. Okay, so here I am on my Work Anywhere Now Instagram account settings on the screen. And I have it on right now. So when you're setting this up, of course, you should have it off until everything is set up. I'm going to show you all the 3 tabs here and what to look out for, and also after you set it up and have it going, I'm going to show you about the statistics. Okay, so summary is your first tab of your dashboard here, and then your statistics is the next tab, which is very useful. Okay, so here are your tools. You go to follow first. So have it off while you're setting up. The first thing I want you to do for the run timers here, the settings here, okay? You're going to put it a wait between 45 and 60 minutes before each new operation. In fact, well, 45 to 60 so that they have a range to pick from, the Mass Planner. And you want a range because, especially in the beginning, so that it's more random. So you might even, like, to be even more safe, you might even want to do like maybe even 55 minutes to 70 minutes maybe, if your account is even newer. But if you're like about 3 months into your account, 45 to 60 should be okay. And what you're going to do is for the next one, so that means how long it's going to wait between each time it starts the tool, meaning like the next section, you're gonna put how many to follow per operation. So what per operation means is that every time the tool comes on, it's gonna follow what you're gonna set it. Like my screen right now, it says 90 to 100. You do not do that in the beginning, okay? You work up to that. So once you have the time between 45 to 60, you're going to have follow between 45 to 55 people per operation, okay? And you're going to have, with a delay between probably longer than me, you're going to do probably, let's do 20 seconds to 60 seconds, okay? And that's going to be your beginning wait time. So as it tries to follow 45 to 55 people per each time it starts the tool, but between each of those 45 to 55 people, it's going to wait between the 20 seconds and 60 seconds for it to follow, so that it's going to, again, more random is better for your account. Okay. And so in the beginning I said 6 hours, so I like to do PM hours for me, because I know majority, I'm in the States, so majority of the people that go on is usually in the evening. So you find out when their best times are to know when your audience is on the platform, on the Instagram platform. You want to get them when they're on, because then when you follow them, they see your notification and they might check you out. Okay, that's why you want to do it. You don't want to do it when they're asleep. So I do it from 1 to 11:30, but because you're starting out, you're only going to need 6 hours. Actually, it doesn't matter. You could actually have it my bracket, because what we're going to do down here for the follow minutes per day, that's going to stop it anyway. It's not going to keep following, even if you have this huge bracket. So for me, I'm following 1,000 people a day, 1,000 accounts a day, and with this bracket, it does the job. It finishes the 1,000 people within this time. Actually, when I go to the stats, it's not gonna say 1,000 actually, because I just upped this setting. But I'll show you on my other account that it does go up to 1,000 with the same time. Okay, and then okay, so you can set 6 or 7 hours here if you want, but I could like, you could just leave it a long one so you don't have to adjust this later on. Okay. For Instagram, I don't need to add a random sleep time. On another platform I did, and I'll do that on that I mentioned that on that platform when I do that video. And I don't do this because when you add random sleep time, then you stop the tool for so many minutes to add more randomness in your follow actions. I do this every day. I has from the beginning, so it hasn't been a problem. So you can just do as mine right here. So for your very beginning follow limits, your follow at maximum of, you want to do 300 per day. So you don't want to go over, so you should do like 250 to 300 per day. And then for each day, in the beginning, do 20. Okay, increase each day by 20 until it reaches I think 1,100 is a good number. Anything over that, I don't find I get that much more follow back. And I think it's because I had heard, I don't know if it's true, but sometimes Instagram doesn't even let the notifications show anymore after that. So um, so I would leave it at 1,100. So as you let it go, let's say you're a month into it, you could make this higher. You could do it 50 or even 80. The more you use this and the older your account is, then you can increase this no problem, even up to 100. Like on my other accounts, if I have any break days for some reason, I had to stop MP for maybe a couple days, and then if I restart it, I always start this at 100, because my account's been aged, and I haven't had a problem when I do that for increasing 100. But if it's a new account, or you guys are just brand new using this, I would set it at 20 at first, at least for a week, and then you could increase this part to 30 or 40. I had this at 50 for a long time. So it just depends, because you're starting from 250 to 300 per day here, right? So um, just start off slow, and then you can increase this as you go every week or every month, okay, or every 2 weeks. This I don't touch. I don't need to. It just means that you would need to enable this on the follow tool and on the unfollow tool, and it just means that once it reaches a certain maximum, then it'll start unfollowing and so forth. But the way I do it, I don't need that function. Now, user filters is really up to you. I skip, oh, I think this is new. So I would use that. Skip new English, non-English users for me anyway. Depends on your audience, of course. And the user has a profile image, and that's a good one because that usually signifies non-bot accounts. User has a minimum. Okay, yeah, I don't usually use these ones, but I do use this. So this is these are words in the description that I don't want to have follow. So if you want this whole description, it'll be on my blog post if you're on my blog post. Okay, I always have a blog post um, for every one of my videos, so look up for that in the description as well. So that's very awesome to block out all these gross accounts. And then you could have all these different filters for your users. I don't really use these ones. I'm just concerned with how active they are, so I use user who posted in the last 3 days. And when you do this, yeah, you don't want to follow people who are already following you, right? And then I also have this check, do not follow private. I mean, that's really up to you what you want to follow. I've heard that private users do have better engagement for you, so it may be okay for this account to do, but like I have a shop account that it'll be weird for a shop account to follow private users, so I generally don't do it. And then this is important. After follow actions, like users' latest posts. It's really awesome for the user to see that you follow and then like at least 1 or 2 posts of theirs. And this actually takes into your like count, okay, in your like tool. I want to point that out because that's why you don't go overboard here and put like 3 or 4 posts, because that will totally rack up your like total for your day in your like tool, because it adds to it, okay? And I'll show you how to see that in the like tool when I get there. Okay, so I just do that. You see, I don't need to do anything else in this box. I never comment using Mass Planner. It's I just find it very fake. The comments that I can leave doesn't matter how generic or actually it's too generic, and it becomes really obvious. If you're going to comment, do it manually, do it on your own, because that is the best content. And I've had comments on my posts that are so obvious that are like pathetic, so I usually delete those actually. So it's up to you if you want to comment on people's posts using Mass Planner. I'm not a big fan of that. It's just because it just looks very fake. But sending a direct message after follow, a lot of people do that, so you can do that too. But again, you have to, it's going to be generic, and they're going to be able to tell it's generic, so I don't usually use it. And my accounts, I've never used it in my whole time. I've been using this since June, and my accounts grow fast without doing that, so that's up to you. Except pending, oh yeah, I don't accept friend requests from private users. Okay, here the copy settings is if you want to like finish this account and then you want to copy these whole settings to another account. That's what you use copy settings for. Okay, now follow sources. Follow sources is important to not use keyword search. I find using this is doesn't give you good accounts, okay, and it could be very random and really awful. So I don't use that and you're not following specifically. So I always follow friends of target accounts. The selection rank means that what's the priority, okay? So 10 being the most priority to use. I use both 10. So I only use 2 in this screen, okay? The follow source, there's only 2 I use. And it's all about engagement. So I use follow friends of target accounts, meaning I'm going to pick some big accounts here as my source, okay? And I'm going to follow their followers because they're already, I know for sure they're in my niche, okay? So that's obvious. So find a lot of good accounts in your niche, big accounts that have a good growing rate. And let's see. And I could show you what app to use to find that out. Now, so here it's actually really good if you want to use this function here. Follow the most recent how many followers of the target account. You could do 100. I do 0, but you really should put in something like 100 because it means that you are following the most recent 100 people that just follow these accounts, these source accounts, which is good because they're active and the recent followers of these accounts, these source accounts that you put in here, which means they're active on Instagram because these accounts could have like, I don't know, 60,000 followers and above, or 20,000 and above, and a lot of those accounts could be inactive already. So if you follow the most recent, then you know they're active followers, okay? And then so the second choice I use in this screen is follow users that interacted with posts of target accounts. This is so important. So you're basically following people who engage in those target accounts that you have put in your source list here. Okay, and this source list could be the same as the source list up here. Okay, and this may even be more important than this function here. Okay, because these are actual people who are engaging. And you want to like and comment on their posts, and then you could even follow them if they've commented in the last 5 minutes, which is good. That means they may be in the app, and if you like their comments, then, or like their posts, then they'll get the notification right away. I don't use the bottom. So how many sources do you put? At least 100, okay? I know it takes time to find them, but that doesn't tell me how many. But in here I have 193 sources. So the more sources, the better. And I find if you start with, like right now, I have 193. I haven't, I think I started with maybe 100 and then add another 93 or something like that. What you'll find is that if you don't change or add more sources by a certain point, like if Mass Planner is not following the same rate that it should be, then you need to either add more sources or change your sources. And I'll talk more about that in a second. Okay, so you want at least, I mean, minimum 50, okay? 100 is better to start. And then you keep adding from there. Now this results tab is very important, okay? Because it tells you how many you followed, and you go analyze how many you're going to follow, because you want to keep track of how many you follow per hour, okay? So you could easily export this to Excel, like I have here. So what you're trying to look for, so after you've set your settings for a day, the next day, especially in the beginning, okay? You want to check this every other day or every day if you want. You want to make sure Mass Planner is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So how can you tell what it's doing? Okay, so let's say April 30th, yesterday. What I want to see is how many did it follow per hour. So that's not a whole hour. So let's say 11:14 to, I guess, 10:14. Okay, I'll go to 10:14, 10:14, 26, 10:14. So around here. How many accounts is this? Let me move this. 100. You see that? I follow 100 accounts, and that's a good amount for what I'm doing right now. And what you want to make sure is that in the 1 hour bracket in this results tab is that in the beginning you're only doing around 50. It could be 45 to 55. That's your range, but you want to average your 6 hours to be well, a total of 300, but per hour you want to make sure that it's doing it correctly. Okay, so you see that down here underneath my screen here, or my video, myself here, you see the count is 100. So you want to make sure in the 1 hour bracket, you see how it's following a lot of accounts even in the second. So when you look at your 1 hour, you want to look to the second. Okay, so how would you, so you could tell here that there was a break. You see that it's 9:34 and then it didn't start again till 10:05. So that means that's there's another operation. Okay. Um, and but when you're looking at the results per hour, you're not that concerned about that part. What you're trying to just grab is like the 1 hour thing. So you notice here 9:29 to 9:34, and then it skipped, and this was a break here. So the 9 o'clock hour was a short one. Actually, yeah, that's kind of weird. It's really short, 18. So I'm not sure what happened there, but actually, I would go like from 9:34 to 8:34 to see. Because it's going to make up for that. See, it's 90 for that 1 hour. So it's whatever hour that you bracket. You could try like a 10 to 11 kind of thing to go from top of the hour to the next top of the hour kind of thing. So this is the way you can analyze what it's doing. So let's say it is not following enough per hour. So you will go back to right here and adjust your time. So not necessarily the amount of people that you want adjust per operation. It's the time wait. Okay, so if it's not following enough per hour, it means that your wait time is too long. So you want to shorten that wait time. So instead of 45 to 60, maybe you do, but maybe you do like 40 to 55, okay? But when you're doing adjustments, do it small and then check the next day. And make sure when you're looking at your results tab, you check like several points, okay? Not just the 1 hour. Check several hours and to make sure it is consistently doing, or whatever number that is consistent, so that you could change this better, more accurately. So that's how you would adjust your, or make sure it is following correctly in the beginning, is that you're gonna set the time 45 to 60, 45 to 55. You can leave the time as I have, 1 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. or whenever, whatever your bracket is. But you want the results tab for the day to show that it only follows 6 hours. because you're gonna have a limit down here for two, what did I say? Two, you want to max out at 300. So this number here has to be 300, but here you could have it at as close as possible at 290 or 250. So whatever you want to do here. And again, you could increase this later on. So what I was trying to tell you was that when you look at your results time and it's not following enough, then you just decrease the time between each operation. If it's following too many and you're getting kicked out or getting banned or whatever, you need to slow this down, meaning increase the time here, okay? As long as your follow between or follow people per operation is doing what it's doing, which is 50. If you do it more than that, then you might want to slow that down too, okay? So the other thing I want to show you is the statistics, okay? So this is a summary. You go statistics. Usually it defaults at posting, but what you're going to do is you go to tools, okay? And you go to the account you want to look at. So you don't click here. You see it's doing nothing. You got to click on the numbers, okay? And okay, these numbers don't correlate to the numbers on your tool tab, and I haven't asked Mass Planner why this is, and it doesn't really make a difference to me right now. It never really mattered to me, so it doesn't matter. But what you do is you click on these numbers so you can get your stats, okay? So if you want to quickly just come in here and say, okay, I set up today, tomorrow, you click in here, you should see 300 or close to it for yesterday, right? So as you can see, I had just increased my, for this account, I just increased it a little faster. So today it should shoot up to maybe 1,000 or 1,100 to the max. So I've been at like 800 to 900 all this time. And this account started late December. So third week into December, I started at, oops, sorry, let me look at here. Show you number of followers. So yeah, December 22nd, I started at, or 21st, and then that's the first follow day. And you can see my followers have increased from 300 at December. I'm almost at 10K, and it's not even 5 months yet, okay? And this is an average account. I have my Disney account that's way faster. I'm about to hit 65,000. I was hit 65,000 in less than a year. So if you want to, oh, right. Sorry, this account again. I showed you on my other video. I had to reinstall my profile, so I don't have the history here. But I started on June 30th, and I'll show you some proof. So I like to use, you can see this. This is the analytics app. Whoop, whoa, right there. That's the icon that you want to look at, analytics, okay? And I believe if you want to look at more than one account, you have to pay a subscription. So I paid that long time ago, which was only $1 a month for me, but now it's a lot more. But anyway, you can see on this graph here that my account started at end of June, and it's only what, May 1st, and it's at almost 64,000. Okay, so this account, Disney account, has grown way faster. That's one of my fastest growing account. So going back to my average average account. Looking at the follow. So this, you could look at your daily stats really quickly here at this statistic dashboard. You could look at follow, unfollow, and the like. All right. So I only talked about follow, and it's been half an hour already. I'm sorry. So let me quickly. I should be easier to explain the rest now because I've gone through the follow and the unfollow and like tools are about the same. You can use follow back, but there's no point for Instagram. I use it only for Twitter in the beginning anyway. I don't use it anymore, as you can tell, it's all off. And then so let's go unfollow real quick. Some people don't unfollow until 2 days. I like to do 3 days. I find that people stick longer, follow better if I follow them for 3 days and then unfollow them. And I wait between, so your wait between time and your per operation, it should be around the same as your follow initial, okay? And when you're doing adjustments, I recommend like increments of 10 at a time. For time, 5 minutes at a time, okay? Because time, I find it, even with like a 2-minute adjustment, is a huge difference. So you need to be very careful when you're adjusting the time. So again, sorry, what I was saying is your beginning unfollow should be around the same as your follow. So you put 3 days here, you put 45 to 60 minutes, and then you unfollow 45 to 55, and then seconds is 20 to 60 seconds. And I usually use the opposite time for unfollow in the beginning, but as you can see, this overlaps my follow time, okay? Because my follow time is at PM, but I do it like almost around the clock for unfollow. It's not necessary, and in the beginning, you might not want to overlap, and it should be fine. But sometimes if you find it not unfollowing for some reason, you might want to make this longer time. So you could do for beginner settings, why don't you start at midnight to like 9 a.m. Okay, 9 hours is plenty of time and you probably won't have to adjust that for a while unless you find that it is not unfollowing enough with the time that you give it. Then you expand the time. This is true for also follow and like, okay. I don't do random sleep again for Instagram. It's not necessary, and I do it for every day. So I unfollow. My max is even higher for unfollow because at one point I believe it didn't seem like it was unfollowing enough, so I had it higher. But it's been fine since. So whatever max, again, you start at the 300 per day, okay? So you probably want to do 250 or 280 to 300 per day, and then you increase it by 20 per day up to whatever maximum you want to set here. I wouldn't go more than 1400 for follow or unfollow. And then, okay, this part is important. User filters here. You want to put check unfollow all users followed by Mass Planner. Because there's a limit on Instagram of 7,500 of how many you can follow, you need to unfollow everybody at a certain point. So your total followings should always house 3 days worth of whatever day that you have set. So you have set 3 days worth of following. Your following count should be around 900. Okay. So that's checked. And then if your account has been on for a while, you might have done some following with without using Mass Planner. So if you want to check this also unfollows everything you've done before starting Mass Planner. And if you have accounts that you don't want Mass Planner to unfollow, you need to use a whitelist, check the whitelist box, and then add the accounts here. I don't use the like while unfollowing. This is something new that they had added before, so I don't use that. I don't find it that I find it, why notify them that you're liking if you're unfollowing them. Okay, so that's unfollow. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, as you increase your follow, you also do the same with your unfollow. Okay, so this should be the same as this, but always keep that as 3. So let's go to the like tool. Again, you're gonna start at 45 to 60. Okay, I think like you could still do the same as follow in the beginning, especially at beginning. Like when your account is like at least a month into this mass planner or 2 months, then you could kind of increase these settings, like I have. Um, like this account, um, you could go up to 90 to between 90 to 100 accounts per operation. That's the highest, and depending on the time, the lower the time here, it could actually follow like up to 180 accounts, even with it's saying only 90 to 100, but because your time is so short, the wait between each operation, it'll start the tool right away, like within whatever you set here, and then you actually follow quite fast, or sorry, like or follow quite fast. Okay, so for your beginning, keep it the same as follow, and then you will adjust. So how do you adjust? As okay, sorry, let me finish like first. I'm jumping the gun. So I would set these about the same as your follow, except for your execute time. I will give it a longer execute time, because you're going to in general like more than you follow. Okay, so like I have my likes up to 2,000 a day. I don't know, that sounds excessive, but it helps. I mean, it helps with engagement. They like my stuff. They like it back. Look at how many I like. I like, so I do it every day. So I do have a bigger range. Sometimes I even have it from 9 a.m. to 11 for some of my accounts. If it's not liking enough with this range, I would even expand it longer. But again, you could also make this, increase this more, and then less time to make it more per hour. But I do about up to 3. I mean, up to, sorry, like recent, most recent posts, 5 most recent posts, and but only a maximum of 3 likes per user. Okay, and remember this maximum for the day right here accounts for the likes that you have put down here after you follow. Okay, just wanted to repeat that. And I like only user that has profile, and I'm gonna skip the non-English users. You could do any of these filters if you like, if you want. I haven't touched this in a long time, so I don't even need to. I don't find anything bad about what I have right now. Post it within the last 2 days is good, because you want stuff that are recent. And then this is the same words and stuff like that that you don't want to like on for their caption. If any of these words are in their caption, you don't want to like that, right? So again, I have these words. It's the same list as the follow. After like actions, relike posts. See, these are new things I haven't looked at yet. Oh, because you can like comments nowadays, right? So you can enable this, but I haven't touched it, so it's been liking fine. These, the source, again, you could definitely like posts of followers of your target source accounts, and this could be the same list as your follow. And then also like posts who interacted with the target accounts, same account sources as your follow as well. And so for like, I also do like posts of my own followers, and then like latest feed posts. So these are kind of like the same because they are pretty much I mean, people who are on my feed are the people who are on my followers. So it's up to you if you want to do just one of those. So I think these are the same settings as my follow. And the results tab, I just want to show you results tab, and it's showing you how it's liking. The auto follow, if you see auto follow, that is from your follow tool. After you follow and you like, that's these ones. Okay. So I just want to show you that for your results tab. And again, you can analyze how much it's liking, or you could just go to the dashboard statistics to see if it's liking properly here. Click on your like. So this is my like. It's liking close to 2,000 every day, and I just leave it. Okay, and the final thing I want to talk about, if you ever get kicked out or something went wrong and you can't, you get banned for 24 hours or something like that, no worries, okay? Do not panic. Instagram has been okay. I haven't had more than a 24-hour ban, and it's not frequent. It's seldom. As long as you keep those beginning settings low, like I have told you, and only increase like per day by the 20, and then do not touch the time and the per operation um, um, settings yet until you're at least maybe 2 weeks into it, okay? Now, if you ever have to have a stop, so let's say you are following pretty good now, right? Let's say you are following 500 a day, and then you get to 600 and 800 a day. At some point, somehow something got shut off and Mass Planner wasn't working, or you got kicked out and you got locked out of your account, you got a verified account, whatever it is, and you lost maybe 24 hours or 48 hours of your following tool or any of your tools. When you begin again, I will knock it back down. So I would start per day limit. I would start again at so if you've been doing it, I would start at 500. You don't have to go all the way down to 300. You would start at 500 because you don't want to have 0 days and then shoot it up to 800 a day. So that's the only thing I want to mention as well. If you have any kind of 0 days and you want to start it up again, start up at 500 per day if you've been already doing it at that level or higher. You don't need to go all the way back down to 300. Instagram is not as sensitive as any of the other platforms I've used. So it's been really good for to use Mass Planner for Instagram. My Jessica Dolls account is at, if I look at the dashboard tools, here are my followers. Oh yeah, I'm almost at 70,000 now. And my Instagram here, so my Disney account is even small, younger account, way younger, right? It's my doll account started January of 2015, and this account started June 30, and this account started December last year, and this account started in July. Yeah, July of last year, and it's grown to 27,000 in less than a year, in 10 months. So Instagram is really good on Mass Planners. So you just gotta increase it slowly. You could get more aggressive if you're like 3 months into Mass Planner. Like, I mean, like by aggressive. So your maximum settings that I would suggest is kind of what you see here. I think you could even go down to 22 or 23, yeah, or 22, 25. I would go, that's the max. And then here 90 to 100, that's your max. So these are your max accounts, and you could do this lower as well. To this is the lowest I would go as well. So I would take these settings, or 1100 I guess would be max. You could do 12. I've done it up to 1400 here for your max day, and it's been fine. But I just don't find it as I don't find it falling as much, like incrementally more, my follow back rate. And then the last thing I want to mention again, to find out your source accounts that you want to make sure they're following or their followers or growing at 100 per day. The analytics app that I showed you. So this is the Disney account, and it's growing at 173 a day right now, and sometimes it shoots up to 300 a day. So this is the analytics tab app, sorry, and it's I believe it's analytics for Instagram. But if you could find that icon, that's the icon right there. Okay. Whoop, sorry, that's the icon. And I think that's it. So if you guys have any questions for Instagram, please leave me a comment either on my blog post or beneath this video, and I'll answer as much as I can. And please give me a thumbs up on this video, and follow my YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and I'll see you on the next video for Twitter, and also do one for Pinterest. So see you later. Bye. Thank you.